The National Transportation Safety Board says an Amtrak train that derailed Monday morning, spilling rail cars onto a highway below and killing 3 people outside Seattle, Washington, was going 80 km per hour above the speed limit. Bella Dinzer, an NTSB board member, said at a news conference late Monday night that information from the event data recorder in the rear locomotive provided information about the train's speed. Dinzer said the train was traveling 128 km per hour in a 48 km per hour zone. She said it's not yet known what caused the train to derail and that it's too early to tell why it was going so fast, but federal investigators will likely be on scene for a week or more. There were 80 passengers and 5 crew on the train when it derailed and pulled 13 cars off the tracks. More than 70 people were taken for medical care, including 10 with serious injuries. The train was making the inaugural run on a new route as part of a $180.7 million U.S. project designed to speed up service by removing passenger trains from a route along Puget Sound that's bogged down by curves, single-track tunnels and freight traffic. Positive train control, the technology that can slow or stop a speeding train, wasn't in use on this stretch of track, according to Amtrak's president and co-chief executive, Richard Anderson. Anderson, speaking at a news conference Tuesday evening, was asked about positive train control and the route but offered little detail, citing the NTSB's ongoing investigation. He spoke in favor of the technology overall, saying he's a huge believer in positive train control. There's no one that wants positive train control more than Amtrak. Regulators have been pressing railroads for years to install such technology, and some have done so, but the deadline has been extended repeatedly at the industry's request and is now set for the end of 2018. Anderson, who spent decades working in the aviation industry, said Amtrak is cooperating with investigators and working to support the families of the people who died in the derailment. He said it's not acceptable that Amtrak is involved in these kinds of accidents. In 2015, an Amtrak train in Philadelphia was traveling at twice the 80 km per hour speed limit as it entered a sharp curve and derailed. 8 people were killed and more than 200 were injured when the locomotive and 4 of the train's 7 passenger cars jumped the tracks. Several cars overturned and ripped apart. A track chart prepared by the Washington State Department of Transportation shows the maximum speed drops from 128 km per hour to 48 km per hour for passenger trains just before the tracks curve to cross Interstate 5, which is where the train went off the tracks. The chart, dated February 7, was submitted to the Federal Railroad Administration in anticipation of the start of passenger service along a new bypass route that shaves off 10 minutes for the trip between Seattle and Portland, Oregon. Kimberly Reason with Sound Transit, the Seattle area transit agency that owns the tracks, said speed signs are posted 3 kilometers before the speed zone changes and just before the speed zone approaching the curve. Eric Korb, a counselor for the small city of DuPont, Washington, near the derailment, said he rode the train with about 30 or so dignitaries and others on a special trip Friday before the service opened to the public Monday.